Hello, my loves. So today on Valerie's Craft Corner, I'm going to show you how to make what is called an exploding box, but it doesn't actually explode, which I think is a good thing. And this can be a very thoughtful, lovely gift to receive that when you personalize it for the person that you're giving it to, and this could be given really to anyone, it really just sort of leaves a lasting impression, and you can upscale it all you want. You can put keys to a car up in this bad boy, or just make it a wonderful, joyful candy box. So all you're gonna need is paper of varying weights. Cardstock will do you well. Also scrapbook paper, because it also has a level of thickness. But you can also use construction paper, and if you need to glue two pieces together to make it thicker. Same thing with copy paper, you just will have to reinforce the paper with more paper. So you open it up, and it is just a feast for your eyes, all different kinds of treats. We are gonna make little pockets where you can add doodads. So it is 3 boxes, basically cubes with no lid. So this is box number 1. This is box number 2. Again, when you put fold the sides up, it's a cube with no lid. And this is box or cube number 3. This last one will have a lid. Now, could you make 4? Yes. Could you make 5? Absolutely. It is up to you and your level of creativity and interest. Okay, so let's get started. We want to create the first box. So this, you could use your flimsiest paper. I'm going to use construction paper, which is fairly light. It's just like 1 grade above copy paper. And I'm not going to make this exact. I'm not that kind of person. Some of you will need the literal math numbers, and I will try to give you as much as I can give you. So this is 2 inches. Each side is 2 inches, okay, including the bottom. So for the first piece, 2 inches is going to be your guide. So you're going to get your ruler, and you're going to get your piece of paper, and starting on one side, because there will likely be excess, since I know that all my sides need to be 2 inches, I'm going to start marking 2-inch intervals on my paper. Just taking the ruler flush to the long side. So 2. Oop, I did not do that right. Talking and reading a ruler is no bueno. Okay, 2 inches, 4 inches, and 6 inches. Now I only need to measure to 6 inches because when you lay your cube down, there's only 1, 2, 3 different sides across its longest piece. So I only need 3 sides, or 3 pieces, I should say. So now I am going to take my ruler, and where I made those lines, I am going to make sure my ruler is flush with the page, find the line, and connect it across. When I am done, it will look like a tic-tac-toe board. So hopefully you can see the lines at 2-inch intervals. Now I'm going to turn my paper, and I'm going to make the lines this way, that cut it, that make the tic-tac-toe. I'm losing my words at this juncture. Okay, so I'm gonna go on one of the lines I already made, and I'm gonna make a mark 2 inches from the corner, or this from the side of the paper, 4 inches, 6 inches. And again, I'm going to make my ruler flush with the edge of my page, find my point, and draw my line. Again, where I drew the next point, make sure my ruler's flush, draw my line. And the last one, where my ruler's flush, draw the line. Now, can you see you have a tic-tac-toe board design? Now we're gonna take our scissors and we're gonna cut. And we're gonna cut right around our 3 shapes. And you see, we now, sticker on it, we now have a perfect square, right? But we don't need all of this. We only need this side, this side, this side, the center, and this side. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off the corner pieces. And you can use those lines as a guide. I'm using my kitchen scissors because I have misplaced my other ones. Okay. I'm so nervous about cutting through because these scissors are really sharp. I'm being super cautious. Okay. So now you're left with a non-religious denomination, the X. There you go. There's non-religious. You're left with an X, and the X even has a square from your lines right in the center. So using that X, or using those lines in the center, you're gonna fold each side up using that line. And you now have your center cube. Okay? We're gonna put that aside. You're gonna do the exact same thing. So it doesn't really matter what your measurements are, depending on how big your paper is, how big you want your ultimate final box size to be. You just need to make sure that each piece or each additional box or cube is larger than the one prior. So this had a 2-inch bottom. So in order for it to fit inside this one has to have a larger bottom than 2. So I've already measured out and made my lines. I used 3 1/3 to give it just a little bit of room. The amount of distance you leave between the sizes of the bottoms of the box, so in this case 2, 3 1/4, is going to be the amount of space you have to put things in, okay? And I want to be able to put maybe a piece of candy or something between the 2 boxes. So I've already measured this out for, I think, 3 1/3. And so I'm just gonna make my cuts. Again, I don't know if you can see, but I've measured and I have a tic-tac-toe board. So now I'm just gonna cut off the corners, or the corner pieces. And I'm not gonna throw those away. All of those will be scraps that I'm gonna use to personalize and make the box more beautiful, I guess? Beautify, yes. I'll take it as a word. And so once you have your box structure, the things that you can put in it are endless. You can put a diamond bracelet in one of the containers. You could put a poem in one of the containers. And by containers, I mean the little folders and envelopes that we are going to add to our box pieces. All right, we're almost done with box number 2. And again, that was 3 1/3 because 3 just seemed too narrow. Now I'm gonna fold the sides up along the lines that have already been drawn. And again, when you're done, you have your second cube, and this one fits right inside, okay? I'm gonna move on. We've got one more to make, and I believe these were 4. Yep. So, 4 inches by 4 inches each square. This actually took up most of the page. The page was a little irregular or didn't quite match, so it's not all squared off. Clearly, this is not the same diamond or cube shape. What do I want to say? Yeah, this is not the perfect square that the other pieces was. This is a rectangle. So because of the size, we are fudging a little bit, but you won't be able to tell with the final product. So again, I am going to cut off the corner pieces because I don't need those. And again, you can decorate it with art, with stickers. You can embellish with your favorite quotes. And if you feel like, oh, my handwriting's not great, you can go to the computer and you can find quotes that you like, or quotes from maybe one of their favorite poets or one of their favorite philosophers. And you can print them out. You can print them out on colored paper and cut them up. You can print them out on regular paper and color them. You can do so much with this, and the person will only marvel at the time that it must have taken you to do it. All right, so we have our final cube, and we're gonna fold the sides up. And again, for these outer pieces, I used cardstock because it is a harder piece of paper with more resistance, and you could use cardboard. Cardboard would make it explode more. Now, let's say you've miscellaneous pieces of cardboard and not a piece of cardboard big enough to cut out these shapes. What you can do is, like, you have 5-inch squares. You can just cut out 5-inch squares from miscellaneous pieces of cardboard and then tape them together along the seams making yourself a cube. Now, you see here with this cube, because we were fudging, the sides are not exactly equal, say less. So I'm just going to make them more equal. So I'm going to, this is 3 1/4, so I'm just going to mark this off. And I'm going to mark this longer side off. And then bring my ruler flush, find the point, leave a little mark to cut along. All right, now I have my cube shape, and you see that the blue fits inside, the yellow fits inside the purple. All right, now it's time to get to decorating. So when you're done, you have all these scraps of the corners of the paper that you didn't use. Well, we're now going to use them. So you want to be able to put things inside the box, right? And there's really no place. The sides are smooth. So we're going to make little boxes, little pockets, little envelopes. There's several ways that you can do them. You can actually fold an envelope from one of the scrap pieces of paper and stick it on there. You can cut out the shape, I don't know if you can see it, the shape of a pocket from just one single piece of paper and stick it on there. This is a different form, side of an envelope, but like you can see, you can put money in the pockets. Okay, so we're gonna go about making envelopes, and you can use the other pieces of paper just to make little decorative pieces. This was just a scrap piece of paper that I cut folded in half and cut 3 C's out of, and it became a heart decoration. So let's get started on that envelope. So you want to take, the easiest way to make an envelope is to, if you can see it, eyeball it, fold this piece into 3 pieces, right? One would be the top, the envelope triangle that you fold over, and the one side would be the front flap and one side would be the back flap, okay? Now, I already know that I don't need the top of the envelope to be as big as the bottom, the base of the envelope, so I'm gonna give, though I'm gonna fold it in 3, I'm gonna give most of the fold to the bottom. You can see I folded it more than halfway. And then I just take the top piece and I fold it down. And notice that it does not go all the way to the bottom. Now, I'm just gonna eyeball this because it's not about perfection. I'm gonna make it more of an envelope shape. So I'm gonna give you that envelope, that part of the envelope you lick, the flap, by just cutting 2 diagonal pieces that go up to the corner. Now you can see I have an envelope flap. Now, maybe because let's say that this envelope is going to fit on this piece. I don't want to make it too matchy-matchy, so I don't want the yellow to be on the blue. So I would want a yellow envelope. I don't want the yellow to be on the yellow. I want the yellow to be in the blue. So this envelope goes the entire width of this side, and we want it to be smaller. So I'm going to cut down each side of the envelope. And now I have an envelope that will easily fit this side. So, how do I make the envelope sealed? I just use tape. Now, you could use glue. It gets a little hard to figure out how much of the envelope you're sealing. And sometimes the glue can seal too much of the envelope. So, I'm going to take a glue strip and place it on one side and then just fold it over and bring it down. Now that side is sealed and you see that you have extra tape left over, and I just take the scissors and I cut it. Again with this side, so I took a wide piece of tape and I divided it in half, or split the piece in half. Again, I'm going down one side with the tape and then taking the excess, going down the other, cutting off the remains. And now I have an envelope. If I want to add a level of, I want scrap. I want to add a level of embellishment. Maybe I do a blue heart. I'm going to take a small strip of paper and I'm going to fold it in half. The long way. So it's super skinny. And if you want, you can draw a template on one side. It looks like a candy cane if it were drunk. I'll show you in a moment. So a candy cane having a good time. Now I'm just going to cut out those candy canes. And if I'm not going to be careful, but if I were to be careful and not bring the curves of the candy cane all the way to the side of the paper, I could use both pieces. These kitchen scissors are killing me today. All right, that's going to be a rough heart, but it is a heart, no less. Now I'm going to take my glue. And my glue is very happy to finally be getting in on the action. And I am going to put some glue on that heart. And then place it on the envelope. Hold it down for a moment. And there you go. And now I'm going to take my pocket, my envelope, and I am going to put it, seal it, glue it to my cube side. Now, maybe you have a theme. You can wipe off any excess glue. Now, maybe you have a theme for this box, right? These box of treats, or a theme for what it is that you want to give the person. So maybe you write words that might be associated with whatever you're going to give. So maybe in this pocket, I might put a ring. So I'm gonna call this, and plus the heart is there, I'm gonna take a marker and just label this love. So on this side, I'm going to put something that I know that they would love. Let's go to another piece. So there, like I said, there are always all kinds of ways to embellish these. So this inner one that is super flimsy, you can actually put something in the center of the box, like, let's see, if you wanted to put a bracelet, you can put it in the center of the box. You can use all kinds of things like stickers to decorate. Where's the initial? Where's my original? Oh, here we go. So on this one, I put an envelope, right? And in it, I put a sort of goddessy figure thing. And on the back, it says courage. I taped some Werther's original gingerbread candy because they're different. In here, I put a heart-shaped stone. Okay, so in this case, since it's a heart-shaped stone, that might be perfect for my love pocket. Okay, so now how else can you, like, so say that was way too convoluted for you to make your envelope. You're just like, girl, who's got all that time, care, and attention? Okay, so let's take another piece of paper. Let's be a little bit more basic about it. Let's take the piece of paper and let's fold it in half, but not exactly in half. Leave a little bit of a lip. There you go. Now you have your pocket. That was it. So we're just going to cut this down so it'll go in the purple one, because remember, we don't want the same colors on the same colors. Too matchy-matchy. So we just want to cut it down to an appropriate size. Yes, that will fit. And now I want to take my tape and seal off the sides. You could use glue. You could use the glue stick. I would encourage that behavior, the glue stick. Again, because my tape is thick, I'm just gonna, and I don't need much, I just take the piece I had, split it in half. I'm gonna put half of the tape on one side of the pocket, the other on the other half, and let the excess hang off. Again with this one, same thing, other side. Put tape on one half. And you can get that invisible tape so it doesn't show at all, but I don't think it's too terrible on the eye. And then I'm just gonna cut off the excess. Now, this pocket, I left a little bit of a ridge. I can draw a design, so I'm just gonna draw figure eights. Okay, so give it a little bit of decor. Now, I could put, say, my little emblem in there, right? Before I fill it, I want to glue it. And if you're going to put anything in them, I encourage you to glue down instead of tape, because depending on how heavy the item is that you are placing inside, the paper, especially like this flimsy construction paper bit, initial bit, is not super strong. So you want to make sure that the pocket is strong. Now, let's say that instead of that little emblem, that I wanted to put something written, like a quote. So this quote says, "Resistance is contagious." And it has a little heart that I glued to it. I could take that and put it in there. And then I could say on the pocket, read me, and give them a direction, okay? So essentially, you want to use vibrant colored papers or paper colors that really clash and so are super visible. If you say this piece of triangular edge, right? You could make this a pocket. Super easy. You want to cut off the sides or the other points. And if you want to leave it just like that, you've just made a pocket. But if you want to even out the sides so it's visually more regular, you want to, and then you can use your marker to draw on the back pockets of seams. You can use different colors. I'm just using black because this is a brown piece of paper. And so you can make it look like a pocket and then just glue that. So I'm gonna put that on, I guess, the blue. And remember, you just want to go around the sides of it. You don't want to glue the whole thing because then it won't be a pocket. And in that pocket, you could put, this might be too big, but here is a coupon, right? So all of the gifts that you, or mementos that you put inside here could be, let's say this person likes to do spa treatments. This could be a coupon for a pedicure or the actual coupon from the pedicure place. It could be for a personal back rub or a foot rub if that's something that you know that they like. In this case, this would be a free movie night with snacks included. So, all you need is paper, some glue, and some thoughtfulness. And you, too, could create an exploding box. I'm going to show you, when you're done, I'm going to show you how to make your lid. Okay? So let's take the biggest box that we did. Let's just do this one because it's right here. I am going to take this yellow paper, or this line paper, I should say, and right smack in the center, I'm going to put the largest piece. Okay, I'm using the blue one just because I think it's more visual and easy for you to see. So using this as a template, I'm going to mark essentially all around it. Now, I did not need to start in the center of this paper. All right, I didn't get that other side so well, but I have this side as the marker and that side to tell me when to stop. Okay, you just want to make sure the ends are articulate. Now, this is going to be the center or the underneath side of my lid. I'm going to cut around this square. You know, I'm going to leave like maybe an inch. Again, I'm not measuring. maybe, ooh, I'm cutting 2 pieces of paper. Ay, Dios mío. Maybe it's 1.5 inches because I didn't measure, and that's okay. Now, I have what looks like a picture frame. So I am going to go from the corners to the corners and make a cut. From the corner of the piece I just created by cutting to the corner of the box and make a cut. This corner and this corner. Now I'm going to fold each side up along the line that I drew to be my marker for the bottom of the box. I'm going to fold and flatten, fold and flatten, fold and flatten. Okay, now you're going to take the ends, the pointy ends, and you're going to fold them in. And the reason why you're going to fold them in is just to give them a fold shape. So when it's time to work with them, they already have like a ridge to go along. So you're just going to fold each side in. Kind of like origami, but not quite. All right, so now it still looks like the frame, but it has the points turned in. You're gonna grab your glue. Now I like to alternate the flaps, but you glue however it is that you feel most comfortable gluing. And by alternating, I mean that if this flap is on the outside of this flap, on this side of it, then on this side of it is going to be on the inside. So I'm going to start with one side. Take one of the triangles. You have to be careful where you glue. You're going to glue inside of one triangle, right? So that is going to go on the outside, and then you're going to glue the inside of this triangle. And I'll show you what I mean. One, there's glue on both sides. This one goes on the outside and glues to that, and this one, the glue is the inside. I made that super messy, so sorry. Okay, and you're gonna hold that for a minute. I also use paper clips to hold it in place while I'm manipulating the other side. And again, because this piece was outside, right, on this side, or this piece was inside, this piece is now going to be on the outside. So I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a little glue on the inside here that's going to be on the outside, and a little glue on the inside there that's going to be on the inside. And again, I corner them up. I hold in place for a minute or two. And again, if I put just a paper clip, slip it on that side, another one on that side, I can move along a little bit faster and more easily. Again, because this piece was on the inside, this piece is now going to be on the outside, because I like to alternate. Don't know why. It might be a structural thing. I don't know. So outside, inside gluing, square them up. got one last piece. This piece was on the inside, so it's going to be on the outside over here. Perfect. So we're going to gluey here, gluey there, and marry them together. And in quick work, you see that we have a lid. Now, it's clearly not dry, but I will show you. Here's the blue that we create, the blue piece that we created it for. You bring all your sides up. And your lid totally fits. Then you pop it. This piece would be inside. There would be another piece inside. You get the whole idea. So, I can't tell you the amount of possibility there is for here. You could make one of these and make it a scavenger hunt, and in each pocket you could number the pockets so that each time they find one other stage of the scavenger hunt, they have to come back here and collect another clue. So you can, as there's no limit to the potential of how to use this, the only limit is your imagination. So get busy folding some paper and making some exploding boxes. You will not be sorry. Bye, babes.